This is Mrs. Waynert's math class, Chapter 10, Lessons 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, Part 1. Today we will be doing simple converting of customary units of length. But before we begin, did you hear the news? King Henry drinks unusually dark chocolate milk, many large gulps. Remember that. So the learning target, by the end of today's lesson, you should comfortably be able to say and believe, I can do simple conversions of customary units of length. Our length conversions can be found in your Chapter 10 packet, the first two pages, pages A and B. We see our larger units on the left, our smaller units on the right. You can look back at this chart while you're doing your classwork on homework problems, but you will need to memorize this chart for the test. It's a good idea to start memorizing that tonight. Example number 1. The sidewalk is 24 feet long. How many yards long is the new sidewalk? Well, when I take a look at this problem, I see that I know my unit is 24 feet, and I want to know how many yards long the unit is. So step number 1 tells me to write the given problem, putting the given unit first and the unknown unit second. My given unit is my 24 feet. My unknown unit is my yards. So I rewrote my problem, given unit 24 feet equals blank, which is the unknown, yards. Step number 2, I have to look at my units and see if I'm going from a large unit to a small unit or from a small unit to a large unit. Well, let's see. I'm going from feet to yards. Feet are smaller than yards. If I wasn't sure of that, I could go back and look at my conversion chart. Here's my conversion chart again. I have large and small. I'm converting feet to yards. My first conversion is feet and inches. Nope. My next conversion is yards and feet. That's what I'm looking for, yards and feet. And I see that my yards are on the larger side and my feet are on the smaller side. So yards is my larger unit. Since yards is my larger unit, it's in the right side, my L will go on the right side. Feet are my smaller unit, so I'm going from small to large. When I'm converting from small to large, that means I need to divide. This information is also in Chapter 10 packet on page A. You will also need to have that memorized as well. Small unit to a large unit means that I divide. Step number 3, I rewrite the given number, which is 24, and the operation that I just chose, which is division, because small to large told me to divide. Step number 4, I need to know what the conversion is between feet and yards or yards and feet. Again, for the test I'll have to have this memorized, but for now I can look back at my chart. As I see on my conversion chart, this is where I have yards and feet, or feet and yards. It's 1 yard equals 3 feet. I'm not looking at the 1, I'm looking at the other number. In this case, that number is 3. And I write that number next to my operation. So now I have the problem 24 divided by 3. Step number 5 says I solve my problem. Use scrap paper if necessary. Scrap, I have 24 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 24 how many times? I don't even think I need to do this as long division because in my 3 times tables I do get to 24. So 24 divided by 3 equals 8, and that is going to be the answer that I write down in my answer blank. 24 feet equals 8 yards. So final answer for example number 1, 24 feet equals 8 yards. And there you have it. I'm done. Please stop the video and complete worksheet number 1 right now. Example number 2. The mall is 6 miles away. How many feet is that? Well, my given unit is 6 miles. What I need to know, my unknown, is how many feet. So step 1 says write the given unit first, which is 6 miles, and the unknown second equals blank feet. Step 2, look at the units and decide if they're going from large to small or small to large. My units are miles to feet. Again, for the test, I'll need to have this memorized, but for now, I can go back to my chart to take a look at it. So on my length conversions chart, which is found on page A in your Chapter 10 packet, I see my larger units are on the left and my smaller units are on the right. I'm looking for the conversion of miles and feet. Feet and inches? No. Yards and feet? No. Miles and feet? Yes. Here we go. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So it says feet are small, miles are large. So miles will be larger. Since miles are larger, I'll put my L by miles to my S by feet. Large to small means that I multiply. Again, found on page A in your Chapter 10 packet. You will need to have that memorized for the test. So now I take my given number, which is 6, my operation, which is times, and I need to see what the conversion is between miles and feet. I'm looking for the number that is not 1. So on the chart, my miles and feet conversion, I see that 5,280 is the number that's not 1. So I'm going to put 5,280 down. 5,280. My next step is to use scrap paper and solve the problem. As always, it is faster to multiply by putting the number with the most digits on top. So I will say 5,280 times 6, and I'll go ahead and solve this. And I get 31,680. Again, I take that answer and move it up into my answer line. So 6 miles equals 31,680 feet, and this will be my final answer. Please stop the video and complete worksheet number 2 right now. So let's review. When we have a problem when we're doing conversions, first we find the known and we compare it to the unknown. So when I look on this page, I have the known equals the unknown because that was originally a blank. In this case, the known is feet and the unknown is yards, so I'm going from feet to yards. Go back to my chart and find the conversion from feet to yards, or it could be opposite, yards to feet. Here we go, yards and feet. And see which is which. I see that my feet are the smaller unit, my yards are the larger unit. So go back to my problem, and I'm going to go feet is small, yards is large, so it's small to large. Look back at page A in Chapter 10 packet. Small to large means we divide. So now we're going to take the number that they gave us, 24, the operation that we figured out from small to large, which is division, and we're going to look back at our table, and we see that the conversion is 1 yard equals 3 feet. Remember, you're always looking for the number that's not the 1. And that conversion is what goes right here. Now, in order to solve, we simply do that problem, 24 divided by 3, and the answer is the conversion. It goes into the blank on the line. In our second example, the known was miles, 6 miles. The unknown was how many feet. So we put the known first, which was 6 miles. The unknown at the time was blank feet. So we're converting from miles to feet. We go back to the chart. We see the miles and feet conversion. We notice that feet is the smaller unit, miles is the larger unit. So if miles is the larger unit, we have miles first, which is large to small. Look back at page A in Chapter 10. You will eventually have that memorized. Large to small means we multiply. So we take the unit that they gave us, which is 6. Put it right down here. The operation is multiplication, and then we take the conversion from the chart. Remember, we're looking for the conversion that is not 1, so that's 5,280. Put in that 5,280. Now we have the problem to solve. 6 times 5,280, or the faster way to do it is to put the larger number on top, 5,280 times 6. We get the answer that goes into the line, and that is our conversion. Remember that page A of your Chapter 10 packet will have this conversion chart. You do have to memorize that. And it also has this that you have to memorize as well. Large to small equals multiplication, and small to large equals division. Hopefully by now you can confidently say, I can do simple conversions of units of length. Remember, we will be practicing in class tomorrow, and if you have any questions, please see the teacher and we will help you. Good luck with the lesson.